Good morning, Internet. Yashoda here with West Coast Yoga. Today is the auspicious appearance of one of Vishnu's incarnations, Vamana Dev. In this connection, I'm going to speak a few words. Once upon a time, the demigods lost favor with their spiritual master Brihaspati, and being keenly aware of this, the demons wished to take over the heavenly planets, which are known as Svarga. With the help of their spiritual master, Shukracharya, the demons appointed Bali Maharaj as their leader. And Bali even received the blessings of his great-grandfather, Prahlad. After Bali took over the heavenly planets, he sat down on the beautiful throne of Indra and received worship. Now, it is Vishnu's desire that the universal order continue peacefully, and when Vishnu was prayed to by the demigods, he agreed to appear for the first time in a very special form, that of a dwarf. When the Lord appeared, he had a short stature. He was effulgent like molten gold, and he pretended to be a human, a celibate student with a loincloth and umbrella. After receiving worship and blessings from the demigods, this incarnation of Vamana Dev went to the heavenly planets, and he approached the king Bali at a very opportune moment, which was meant for receiving guests and giving charity. Bali Maharaj perceived Vamana Dev approach his sacrifice and was immediately inclined to give him something. He inquired from the brahmachari, "My dear Brahmin, how may I serve you today? As you know, I'm coming in a great dynasty, and I wish to offer you some benediction. You may take whatever you like. I can give you a planet, I can give you a kingdom, I can give you gold, a wife. What would you like today?" Vamana Dev wanted to make a strong impression on the king. He said, "My dear king, thank you for your kind words. I know that even if a person conquers the entire universe, if their senses are uncontrolled, if their mind is uncontrolled, they will still feel that something is lacking. So I'm a simple priest. I simply desire a little bit of land for myself. And I want the amount that can be measured by my own step, 3 steps. When Bali Maharaj heard this request, he was very surprised, but he said, "Yes, I will do as you please." However, his spiritual master Shukracharya was sitting nearby, and Shukracharya warned Bali. He said, "Bali, be careful. It's Vishnu in disguise. The demigods prayed for him to appear. If you grant him his wish, you will certainly be cheated, and everything we have will be lost." Because Shukracharya was a materialist, he was concerned with losing his prestige and position. Bali Maharaj, however, was a great devotee, and he simply wished to honor this brahmachari. He said, "I am not afraid of being cursed. I am not afraid of losing everything. What I am afraid of is breaking my vow. You may take the 3 steps." And then he was factually cursed by his guru to lose everything. At that time, Vamana Dev assumed a very special form, a gigantic form. With his first step, he covered the entire earthly region. And with his second step, he actually pierced the universal covering. At this time, a celestial water came through the universe, and this is the origin of the sacred Mother Ganga. Bali Maharaj returned to the sacrifice and to his normal form, and he lodged a complaint with the king. He said, "Bali, you promised me 3 steps of land," Vamana Dev said, "but with my 2 steps, I have covered the entire universe. Therefore, you're a liar and deserve to be punished." At that time, the snake ropes were evoked, these very special ropes that tie people very tightly. And Bali was tied up, and he was thrown into a cave like some kind of a prisoner. Then Vamana asked, "Now that you're embarrassed, now that everything's been taken, where shall I place my 3rd step?" And of course, Bali said, "You may place your 3rd step on my head." And he bowed his head. And of course, Vamanadev obliged and stepped on his head. Shukracharya was aware that Bali had broken his promise. And at that time, even Prahlad Maharaj was watching. And Bali was very embarrassed. He held his head very low. But then Vamanadev released him. And he said, right now, in this current embodiment, you are not fit to sit on the throne of Indra. However, I'm going to give you a special favor. I'm going to position you in this special place called the subterranean heavens, which categorically are superior to Svarga. And because you're my dear, dear servant, I will stay at the door, just like a doorman, like a security guard. And any trouble comes around, I'll kick it out with my foot, just like I pierced the universe. And so now Bali became greatly celebrated for his staunch devotion and great faith in the Brahmin class. And he was instated in the subterranean heavens. Through a further reading of the Bhagavatam, we learn that Bali in the future, in a future Manvantar, becomes Indra. So his desire will ultimately be fulfilled. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.